welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I have been kind of on the fence of filming this video just because I want to make this channel like a very I guess like comforting place where like people that have any kind of like invisible illness, autoimmune disease can come, have a sense of community, have a sense of comfort, knowing that you're never alone, and be a little bit more positive about the kind of like stuff that we go through, but also that isn't really realistic and that's not really true to my life. And so if you have been on my channel for the past few months, you might have noticed that I haven't posted anything for about 2 months, and that is because my health has kind of plummeted a little bit, but we're on the up track. So I kind of just wanted to explain everything that's been happening, and give like a health and body update and kind of like my game plan to fix that. So the first thing that really kind of set off was that, well, okay, so for the past 6 months I have been unemployed, and that was a conscious decision. I was absolutely miserable at my last job. It was a like 8 to 5 job where I just sat and did the most mindless work for 40 hours a week, and I truly hated every second of it. I felt like my brain was literally in atrophy, and so I made a conscious decision to quit. I had savings as a cushion, and I wanted to find a job that gave me purpose and made me feel fulfilled, and I did find that job, and I'm so happy. I am now a marketing and program coordinator for a nonprofit, and I truly feel so fulfilled in my life. I love going to work. I love, I just feel like not only does my life have structure now from being unemployed to now having a job, but I am excited to wake up in the morning. I'm excited to do things, and I definitely have felt crappy the past 6 months, and now I feel so much better. But being unemployed for 6 months and not having that stimulation really made me kind of depressed, and with that, kind of my body was just like meh, not really keeping up with me. So I also broke my back during that 6-month period, so not only could I not do the weightlifting sessions that I normally like doing, but then I also just wasn't motivated, and then it just kind of had a snowball effect where I stopped meal prepping. I stopped focusing on like things that really matter to me, like being active, having good delicious food and cooking it myself, and just overall be happy. When I got my job, it was kind of like a shock from doing basically nothing to like going like full speed, and I ended up having my first big arthritis flare. And back in February, I was diagnosed with spondyloarthritis, which is an inflammatory arthritis in my SI joints and my hip joints. And so it's just a lot of pain, but there isn't really any damage from it like rheumatoid arthritis. But I never had like a full-blown body flare. Several years ago, I'm speaking really fast, I'm really sorry, I'm just trying to like get this all out. Several years ago, I was on Remicade, and I had an allergic reaction to Remicade, and I had this all over massive pain that the doctors described as a lupus-like reaction. And a few weeks ago, when I had the arthritis flare, I was like perfectly fine. I just got home from grocery shopping, and then all of a sudden I just like dropped to the floor. I was in so much pain, and I had 102 fever for like 5 days, and it was just pain and fever. That's it. I went to the emergency room. They couldn't find anything wrong. That was just it. So that really kind of threw me for a loop, and then also that flare kind of messing with my stomach. And I don't know if it's like the positivity of getting a job that makes me feel so happy, or just dealing with so much bullshit that I put on myself, but I kind of just said enough is enough, and I am determined to have what I'm going to call a 90-day revival plan. I'm not going to call this like Project Comeback or anything like that, because I feel like I didn't fall off the wagon for whatever reason. Like, I truly feel like I have just been dead. Like I've just been a zombie, that I've been going through the motions of things. I'm not being mindful of what I'm eating. I'm not being mindful of like how I'm exercising or using my body, and like truly pushing my body to the point where it's like flourishing and thriving and not just in pain all the time. I haven't been taking care of all of my vitamins and supplements. And I've just been dead. In so many ways. And so I'm doing a 90-day revival plan, and it's divided into 3 phases. Each phase is 30 days, and I'm finishing up phase 1 right now, where I need to do 2 full body workout sessions a week. And that's a perfect example of like the kind of theme for this plan, where it starts off pretty basic and minimal, where 2 workouts a week, that's not that big of a deal. And I also am not putting a lot of pressure, like I need to smash it out every single workout. Today I really did not want to work out, but I just know that it would make me feel a lot better. Also, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety. I have panic disorder, and so like I don't have like consistent anxiety at all, but then I'll have like a panic attack, and it's like, oh, you remember what happened 4 years ago? Well, boom. So I've just been dealing with that, and so I knew that like working out would make me feel a lot better. And so I did a lot of slow movements, and I prefer weightlifting, so I did some weights focused on my back, because I feel like when I do my back and chest, I feel like I can kind of breathe. So that's like my workout stuff, where this first phase I'm doing 2 full body workouts a week, and then 10 minutes of core every single day, because I need to strengthen my core to help my spine. And the 90-day plan goes through fitness. It all goes through food, where I need to meal prep as much as I possibly can, and just be more mindful of when grocery shopping, because I went from like honestly never caring to just plan. That's it. Just plan. Do the best I can. It's not realistic to say I'm going to meal prep every single one of my meals. That's like, if you just go cold turkey on something, or just like, a super strict change, you're never going to stick to it. So I'm just trying to be like, okay, be more mindful, prepare lunches for when you go into work, and meal prep as much as possible, and cook at least 4 dinners out of the 7 nights a week. On top of that, I've also talked to my doctors. I am now on pretty high doses of vitamin D3 and B12. I'm doing B12 shots once a week, 50,000 IUs of vitamin D once a week. So yeah, I was kind of hesitant on whether or not I should make this video, but I think it's a good idea for the sake of you guys, because I guess this is some tough love. Like, there are so many times where I play the victim, and I'm like, oh, I have arthritis, I'm not going to do anything. Oh, I'm feeling like crap, I'm not going to do anything. And I understand that like there are situations where you truly do not have any control. Like when I had my arthritis flare, I did not have control over that, and I wasn't going to force myself to work out. But I feel like, specifically for me, and I think a lot of people that have a chronic illness where you're constantly in this battle to be a healthy, happy person, that like sometimes you just get run down, and you're just like, I just want to give up, and I don't want to focus so much on this. I don't want to like freak out every time I go to a restaurant or whatever. Like I just want to just not think about it. And I absolutely have those moments, but the moment I had just lasted for about 6 months, and I really suffered from it. So this is just my way of holding myself accountable, and just trying to be the best version I can be. Like 2 full body workouts is not a big deal, and I'm going on my own speed. It's whatever I want to do. It's just cutting the bull crap on myself, you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense, and I feel like I'm just rambling. On top of everything else, I mentioned that I have struggled with like depression and anxiety. Honestly, we all do. Everyone should see a therapist. I definitely don't feel like I am depressed anymore now having a job. I truly believe depression comes in waves, that you are okay one minute and then you really kind of struggle the next, and I'm feeling okay right now. The thing is that I feel like it's because I have introduced a lot of good stress in my life. So a few weeks ago, I got Miss Penny Lane, and I have been planning to get her since February. I finally got her at the very end of June, and she is everything to me. She definitely can like stress me out at times because she's a puppy. You know, she has accidents and she cries and she barks and she's not trained, and so having her has given me a lot of good stress. It's also been like struggling on my sleep and everything, but like, you know, then she just nuzzles me and she does things like this, and it's like, oh my god, she makes it worth it. You make it worth it. You want your toy, go ahead. She just walked away from me. She's like, excuse me, I'm chewing. She was a really big investment in that, you know, when you get a puppy, it's so much work up front, but then, you know, you hope you get the returns for like 15 years. She's gonna hold me accountable too, that like I am going to focus on my discipline for the sake of her, and when she gets a lot bigger and we can handle going for like mile walks, that's just going to help me and my mental health and my physical health so much. I also really value working out more now that I have a job where I sit at a desk, and I like, there are so many hours a day where I'm sitting that I want to make sure I have some time every single day just to move my body and to just feel more like, just to feel more alive. I feel like that's the whole goal of this revival plan, is just to feel more alive and happy, and you know, that's just what I need. So yeah, I don't know if this video is super helpful, but I guess posting this video is going to be like me holding myself accountable, but also I think maybe a form of tough love, or like, I guess a conversation spark for you. If you feel like you've just been run down, you know, like join me in your revival plan. Let's talk about your goals in the comment section, and just like, how can we do this? Like, quantify ways where you can measure your success and progress and whatever. And maybe it's, you know, another goal of mine is to read 30 minutes every single day. And so now I found a book that I love. I'm reading Stephen King's It, because Stephen King is my favorite author of all time. And so, you know, like things like this where when you have a chronic illness and you're constantly fighting, you are mentally, emotionally, and physically fatigued all the time. There are some times where you just need to have that reality check. And it's like, I need to push myself or else I will suffer. I will have atrophy. I will have brain fog forever. And so I hope this video is kind of like a spark for you in some way, and we can talk about your goals and everything in the comment section, because I would love to know like what you guys are going through and like how you're trying to remedy that. And from here on out, you will have a lot more videos from me. I mean, I hope to be consistent. I'm hoping to post 3 times a week, except I think that's going to be like maybe August or something. For now, I'm just gonna aim for posting every 5 days, and just do the best that I can without stressing out so much. Okay guys, remember, you are never alone. I will see you in my next video. I have one actually pre-filmed like from a while ago about brain fog, so I'm going to post that after this video, and then hopefully have a more like routine scheduled posting. Please tell me like if there's something that you are struggling with, and like what's your game plan to fix it. I will like hold you accountable, you hold me accountable, we'll work together on this. Remember, you are never alone, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. She's chewing. She doesn't want to be bothered right now. Hi mama, can we say goodbye?